In Cebu, Cebuanas who are about to give birth are provided with care by the Cebu Maternity House or Cebu Periculture Center and Maternity House Incorporated. This establishment has been in Cebu for 90 years already and still continues to enhance their service for women during their maternity stage. Cebu Maternity House features overtime developments like their hospital and laboratory equipments, delivery and operating rooms, nurseries, and the well-ventilated rooms and wards. Currently, the Cebu Maternity House is also the training ground for medical and student nurses for their OBGYN accredited residency training program.
So, in lieu of Medical Director Dr. Raida G. Varona, MD, we have as our guest Chief Nurse Elena Humauas of Cebu Periculture and Maternity House. So, hi ma'am! How are you? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How was your day?
It's a cold day.
Yes. Sige ma'am, so among first question ma'am what are the objectives or goals of Cebu Periculture Center?
Actually, Cebu Periculture Center and Maternity House Incorporated, which is commonly known as Cebu Maternity Hospital, to some of the people, they call this a Cebu Maternity Hospital, was founded in 1922 and was given a special secondary as license to operate as special secondary by the Department of Health. And its specific goals are to guide mothers all throughout pregnancy until such time they delivered. So aside from the mother, we look into also the health needs of the newborn baby, not only the mother.
Oh, very good. Okay. So, ma'am, what are the existing policies, thrusts, or strategies in order to meet its goals?
With regards to the policy, as much as possible, we want our mothers to have their prenatal with us in our outpatient department because one reason is we want to monitor them during their pregnancies. And also, our strategic approach is we're having this program as the package deal. We give them to the especially the low socioeconomic women of Cebu, wherein they can avail of the low-cost hospitalization during their deliveries. And we really want to monitor the mother during pregnancies. And that's why one of our policy is if they want to deliver with us here in our facility, they must have their prenatal. Of course, it does not mean that we don't accept walk-in patients. When we say walk-in patients, those patients who are not our prenatal and they want to deliver in our facility, of course we accept them, but we prioritize our prenatal in our OPD. If there are vacant beds or vacant space in our labor room, then we accept outside patients, those who did not have prenatal with us. But if there are no vacant beds, so we let them transfer to another hospital.
You refer them to another.
Oh, yes.
But ma'am, how about if they haven't had their prenatal here? Ano sa mga requirements nga?
It's the same, but we let them look for a donor, or they have to have one pack of blood, because if you are a prenatal in our OPD, during your prenatal days, you are required to have a blood, which will be your blood. Sometimes we let them go to the RBC to donate blood, so that by the time they are in need of blood during delivery, especially if they experience profuse bleeding and we need to have a blood transfusion, so they can get blood from the RBC.
Okay. So how is the flow of functions and responsibilities of the healthcare system of your agency?
our health facility is headed by our medical director, Dr. Raida Barona. So she supervises and directs the resident doctors, which is the doctors who are handling our service case, or the one conducting or attending to our prenatal patients. So she supervises and manages the total management of care or management of treatment for our patients. Then with regards to the nursing service, which is headed by myself, I also manage the whole nursing service staff who rendered nursing care to the patients. So all in all, we coordinated on the total care of our patients. The doctors, nurses, the midwives, and other health, medical health professionals.
Also the lab workers.
The laboratories, yes. We have our laboratories, the medpics.
So, what are the most reported illnesses experienced by the people in your catchment area?
So far, in our outpatient, usually the problem is on the, what is this? Usually it's on the high-risk patients. We have these high-risk patients. Usually it's early pregnancy and late pregnancy. So sometimes we encounter them complications during their prenatal, like pregnancy-induced hypertension, which is high blood, HNT. So I think that's the most common illnesses in our outpatient, hypertensive patients. So usually we consider them as high risk. So they are closely monitored as to their BP. So sometimes they are told to go to our OPD every week for BP taking.
Check-up.
And yes, and if ever they are also told to, they are referred to medical, what is this, internist for further medical management.
Ma'am, in relation to the question, what are the most common causes of death?
Actually, is our death records is with our newborns. Usually, the most common is prematurity. Prematurity with congenital anomalies, sometimes non-viable is extreme prematurity. Yeah. So mostly of our death is in the newborns. Of course, we don't have maternal deaths because we manage it as long as the patient is our own prenatal. If we have death on the maternal side, usually it's the walk-in patients wherein we don't know the history. Sometimes we don't know the history of the patients, but when it comes to our prenatal, never we have the problem with the prenatals because they are being monitored during the prenatal checkups.
In response to health problems affecting the community residents, what are the health services provided by the
In our case, being an OB-GYN facility, is more on the prenatal checkup and for the mothers. And we have also mga gynae consults when it comes to mga gynae cases. And also, for the newborns, we have the Will Baby Clinic or the immunization. That's the only services we can offer to our clients or our patients. We're dealing with OB and gynae cases.
Okay.
So we have immunizations for the newborns.
What is the ratio of health facilities to the care recipients or patients?
Each one is the one. We don't, like in our labor room, we just admit patients which if it's enough for our bed capacity. 1:1.
Ma'am, how do you solve the issue of lack of health personnel and healthcare facilities?
With regards to the health issue, health personnel, as of now we don't lack personnel because of so many staff nurses we have. In fact, we are accepting volunteers. So it's an additional manpower to the regular staff. And unlike before, we experienced that one before when we have a shortage of nurses. But I let them go on 12 hours duty, the staff. So 7 to 3, and instead of 7 to 3, they go on 7-7. So if you the other shift, like the night shift.
In terms of medtechs, ma'am, do you have a shortage?
Yes, we have that. I think that was a year last year when we had a shortage of medtech because they left for abroad. So what we did is I hired nurse phlebotomist. So it was the nurse phlebotomist who goes to the ward, to the delivery room, to the operating room, and to the labor room just to take the blood. So the medtech is left in the laboratory to perform the procedures. So at least we minimize the work of the medtech by hiring nurse phlebotomist. So as of now, we have enough staff in the laboratory because we must that in we must your graduation. Oh, what that was last March, no?
Last
March. That March, then we must the board. I think that was right after the board exam. We were able to hire, I think, 3 medtechs.
Okay.
So we have enough staff now in the laboratory. And the nurse phlebotomists, since they are on regular status, they are still there in the laboratory. They remain in the laboratory, so at least the workload of the medtechs are less.
Balance.
So as of now, also I don't have the problems with regards to the staffing, when it comes to the nurses and the midwives because we are utilizing the volunteers. Our volunteers are being given allowance per month and also free meals while on duty, and they goes on off duty once a week. And aside from that, they're being rated as to their work performance because that will be our basis if we will be hiring them once there are vacant positions. It was a sort of training for them. So at least we're getting staff. If there are vacant positions, we're getting staff from our volunteers. At least we know already their performance.
In terms of equipment, ma'am, facilities.
In terms of equipment, we have enough for the patient. In fact, with the recent expansion and renovations, we bought some new equipments like anesthesia machines and cautery machines, the cardiac monitor. We renovated our hospitals. We expand. In fact, we have 3 operating rooms now and 3 delivery rooms, and we bought new equipments in order to cater the growing up number of patients we have now. Yes, because we have I think 20 admissions per day. And our total deliveries in a month ranges from 450 to 500.
Wow.
Yes, because panganak naman din. So, our facilities is, we're updating our facilities, we're upgrading our facilities, and we're also buying new instruments, new machines, because we want to upgrade our facilities and also our services.
Ang programs, ma'am, na may mga new programs na ni-implement karon?
As programs, we're adopting the new Unang Yakap. The Unang Yakap, which is the breastfeeding, and also for our newborns, we have this newborn screening, and also that's routine newborn screening, and also newborn hearing for our newborn. Sa mother, with regards to our mothers, it's just mainly the prenatals.
Thank you so much,
No,
Mom.
thank
We've
you,
covered all of our topics, and on behalf of our group, we'd like to give you some snacks or our token gratitude for spending time with us.
Thank you.
so
Thank
much.
you. Sus, mura. Di ka mo daot, ani?
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you so much,
Mom.
Di kita mo daot, ana.
So this has been Elena M. Pumaas, our chief nurse here at Cebu Periculture Center and Maternity.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so now that we're done with our interview with Chief Nurse, let's go around and take a tour of Cebu Periculture and Maternity Center. So aside from public health, Cebu Maternity also has private wings and private suites.
Let's take a trip to Sunset Boulevard in the city of stars. The city of blinding lights and starry eyes. I said, now welcome to the city of angels.
And this is the nurse's That's where, like, down the hall from the private rooms.
I love my women like I love my juice. Naked, all natural, no preservatives or fakeness. I like my ladies like I like my Brady's in bunches. Got the six pack, I ain't talking about the crunches. Hit it till I quit it like Tyson's punches. That's how you gotta rock if you wanna bunch. A sweat make it less fizzy.
So now you're in the second floor. I'm gonna take you down to the first floor where the prenatal happens.
Cowboy, we get it busy in the city. We get it busy in the city. Let's take a trip to Sunset Boulevard.
Let's now go to our service and purchasing of the lower ground floor. Here's the record for the birth certificate section. And if patients want to have a package deal, they also go to the center. Only caters to patients at a time. And then forward we have our OPD or outpatient services.
She started to get the best of me while she makes a mind of whether she wants me to wrestle it. Let's take a trip to Sunset Boulevard.
So this is the outpatient department weekly schedule from Monday to Saturday. Saturday is free and Friday.
Welcome to the city of
The outpatient department weekly schedule from Monday to Saturday. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays being half day. So that marks the end of our tour for Cebu Periculture Center and Maternity House. Our secondary